Hey, welcome to the Invisible Strength podcast. I'm excited for today's conversation because our guest has built a career as a touring musician and has performed around the world while she manages Crohn's disease in the background. Today, she'll share what she's learned about strength, identity, and connecting with her fans through her candid songwriting. Hannah, we're so excited to have you on the show. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
If this is your first time you're here, welcome. I'm Karen Wagner, and I'm joined by my fellow lupus warrior and co-host, Chris Burton. Chris, thanks for being here.
Always a joy to be here with you, Karen, and I'm so excited to talk with you, Hannah. Looking forward to this conversation for sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Hannah, for anyone who hasn't met you yet, can you share a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Hannah Judge. I'm in a band called Fan Club Wallet. We make indie rock music, and I'm also an illustrator.
It's very cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Love that. The indie rock is awesome as well, but I was like, illustrator, come on, multi-hyphenate, that's awesome.
Yeah, I started off as an illustrator, and then I just was putting out music for fun, and that ended up working out faster than illustration did.
That's real too. True.
Not a bad idea to have a couple different paths.
Right.
Yeah.
Hannah, have you always created music and been drawing? How did this passion form for you?
Yeah, I have always been drawing, and in high school I started making music, but I was really shy about it, so I didn't start really putting anything out until I was 20.
Sometimes it just comes with age and maturity, but what helped you make that shift to start actually recording and putting yourself out there?
I think it was finding friends that were also similarly kind of bad. I didn't know what I was doing. My friend was like, "Oh, I also don't know what I'm doing. We should start a band." And then getting comfortable with people that are at the same skill level as you and being like, "Oh, you know what? You can." I don't know. It's always scary to try something that you've never done before.
Of course.
And you don't want to suck in front of everybody. So
right.
when you suck with friends, it definitely helps.
I love that you put it that way, because I think of just, whether it's shyness or that fear of failure, whatever is motivating people. There's so many folks who have the potential, if you keep working at it to really have a demonstrative talent, but we get so shy about it. So talk to us about that process once you got into the groove, working with your friends who are of equal talent level. When did you start to feel that confidence come into play where you're like, you know what, we can share this with other people too?
Yeah, well, we wrote a bunch of songs together and we put it out an EP. This was my old band. And after that, it kind of just got me writing music all the time. And I was writing a lot of stuff that wasn't really going to work for that band. So I thought, oh, maybe I should try to make some solo music. And I was also really lucky that our producer, that first album with my old band, was a really good friend and now is my partner and still produces everything that we work on.
Right.
But I had tried to do music with other people before, and yeah, I had just felt really embarrassed by my lack of knowledge. But with Michael, I was able to be I don't know, I could bring them ideas that were really abstract, try to explain what I was looking for in words that maybe weren't the professional words for mixing a song or whatever. But
sure.
They were never you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I love it.
I hear you talk about finding the right friends that you could be ignorant with, and then your partner, and having that safe space to share. How has managing Crohn's, and you're very open about it on Instagram, how has that translated in talking about living with Crohn's disease?
Yeah, I got diagnosed with Crohn's when I was 16. I'm 27 now. When I was diagnosed, I was just so embarrassed because, as a teenager, I had just gotten a cool high school boyfriend, and I was already really insecure in high school. And then that was added onto it, and I didn't know anybody else that had Crohn's, and from the internet made it seem only old people had it. So I definitely felt really alone, really embarrassed. And when I got older, and realized that I could still do cool, awesome stuff, I was like, okay, well, if I had seen somebody that was doing cool and awesome stuff, I probably wouldn't have been so embarrassed. So that's what made me want to be open about it in the first place.
You know what's so amazing about life is that now you get to be that person for that 16-year-old who gets diagnosed with Crohn's disease, and they're like, this is just for old people. And now they see you who's a cool person and like, oh, no, it's not. It's for also really cool musicians and illustrators. You know what I mean? So just thinking about that aspect of it. But I'm also curious because I got diagnosed a little bit older than you, like in my early 20s. And I remember feeling this like sense of like I lost time. Right? Like my
Yeah.
friends are going out traveling to like Ibiza and stuff like that. And I was just like doing rehab with like a bunch of like octogenarians, you know? And so when did you feel like you were able to reclaim your time and be able to like, you know, live life according to your terms? Or is that something you're still journeying
I
towards?
was gonna say, like, I think that's still something I struggle with a little bit. Like, even being able to, like, do music and do stuff, I still have to be like pretty careful. And, like, I don't drink. I don't drink coffee. Like, there's so much stuff that I don't do.
Right.
And, like my friends will go to parties and they'll be like, why do you want to come to the party? And I'm like, well, like I can't drink and I don't want to get like a cold or COVID or like anything at the party.
Right.
And I like, it's just not like really worth it for me. So definitely sometimes I'm like, that sucks because I used to party. So sometimes I'm like so old now.
That's right. We just say we're retired from the party life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I'm a retired party girl.
That's right.
I really appreciate you bringing up that if you would have had someone older to look up to and seeing that you can still live out your dreams despite these conditions, because that's really the core purpose of this podcast. I remember being in my early 20s thinking that I couldn't do what I wanted to do because of all the challenges that come with lupus. Did you have those moments of, hey, maybe I may not be able to do what I want to do? And if so, how did you work through that?
Yeah, I mean, I went to like an arts high school. You could like specialize and stuff. So I was taking like visual arts at this high school. And I remember getting diagnosed and I found these texts between me and my best friend in high school like a little while ago. Of me being like, I'm screwed. I'm never going to be able to be an artist. Like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm bad at math. Like, what's going to happen to me? I'm so scared. I just don't know how I'm going to keep doing this. And even like, I remember like a teacher in high school was like, if you're going to go to university for art, you got to get your act together. I was like,
Oof.
Girl, I'm never going to get my act together.
Right.
Like, this is forever.
This is me.
I don't know, and I mean, sometimes I still have those thoughts too. Like a couple years ago, I got the sickest that I've ever been with Crohn's, and we had to stop touring. I had to stop writing music. Like, didn't leave my house, and I was like, "Damn, is it over? Like,
Yeah.
what the hell?"
How much have you found Crohn's sort of like bleeding into not just the songwriting process, but like the content of the music? Do you feel a sense of like, I don't really want to talk about this. I want to like tell another story, or do you feel like it's something that you sort of like refer to? Like, what's your relationship with it within your art?
Yeah, well, actually, the whole last album that I put out was all about like having a chronic illness.
Come on.
The lyricism I'm not just like, I have Crohn's, blah, 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 blah. Like,
right.
It's like, I feel alone. So other people can relate to it in different ways.
No doubt.
Having a chronic illness is so multifaceted. It's so much more than just like having a chronic illness. It's like, I feel excluded from things. I feel like anxiety. I feel this, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, there are some songs that are more upfront. Like at one of them, I talk about like getting cut open for surgery, but then some of them are just like, what, does everyone hate me?
Real though. Real.
Yeah.
So you're able to sort of make it like a universal thing, because this is something like as an artist I think about all the time. It's like, I think the best artists who get so specific that they're able to make something universal, they're doing something like really beautiful. And that, so like the way you're describing, I was like, oh, you're talking about it in terms of loneliness, which everyone can relate to, even though you're talking about something very specific and that feels very unique.
Yeah, exactly. I think some of it would be like if you had a chronic illness and you were listening, you'd be like, oh, I know what she's talking about.
Yes.
Like some little specific things, little Easter eggs.
No doubt.
I appreciate you bringing up isolation, because a lot of times those feelings can catch you off guard. It's like,
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to have a grieving loneliness
Mm-hmm.
portion of this journey. Initially, it's just like, okay, what do I have to do medically to take care of myself? But
Yeah.
there's all these other emotions that come along with it. So I'm curious, especially during those times, how do you show self-kindness and fill your cup and make sure you're taking care of yourself emotionally alongside of all the other stuff that comes with having Crohn's disease?
Gosh, that's a really good question. Man, I mean, I think definitely listening to my body and like trying to slow down. I think when I first started doing music, like I felt a lot of pressure to work hard even when I wasn't feeling good. But
Mm-hmm.
after I had that big flare up, I rebuilt things for me,
Mm-hmm.
my world, and like who I'm working with, and like how much I am willing to like sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now, yeah, letting myself be like, no, I can't do that. Like
Yeah.
I have to rest that day. Even on tour, being like, we need to go and get me soup. This is priority. Like, but things that aren't just like trying to not like go into a flare up, but doing art like really definitely fills my cup. When I'm having a hard
Mm-hmm.
time processing emotions, like I make a lot of comics. People will say like journaling, that's my journaling. I've never been able to write in a journal, but I can make a comic.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's such a flex. So you're like, I can't journal, but I create a comic. Like, you're just like, our own personal Stan Lee over here. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, but just thinking about that whole notion of channeling the pain and the circumstances into art. I'm also curious, because artists typically have very different structures to their to the way they use their time. Thinking about folks who have a 9 to 5 and a very like set way of how they do things all the time. How are you pacing yourself, especially with you not only creating music, but also creating art in the forms of illustration? Like, what sort of rhythm have you established for yourself?
I feel like low key, I'm crazy. I'm kind of bad for being like, I'm not going to do anything for 3 months. And then for 3 months, I'm going to go like super hard.
Simpatico. Yes.
But I mean, lately I've been trying to have more structure. I actually got a dog
Come
really
on.
recently. And so that is bringing some beautiful structure into my life.
Absolutely. Right.
Like she's got to wake me up at 8 a.m. So I guess I'm waking up at 8 a.m. now.
There it
like,
is.
But yeah, trying to find more time, take some naps.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You mentioned retiring from partying, trying to slow down more. I'm curious, in what other ways have you adjusted or adapted your lifestyle to help prevent managing future flares?
That's a good question. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink alcohol. Not drinking coffee is like a crazy thing to do on tour.
Word.
My life is still in such a place of insanity in a way, just like because like being on tour and then being home, you have to like readapt to each environment. So like when we're on tour, I bring everything I could possibly need in case I have a flare up. And luckily, like my band is so good about it. They're really understanding. So if I'm like, guys, I'm not feeling good, like they'll load all the equipment in. I can just lie down on the couch in the green room and like get up, play, go back, lie down again. I'm so lucky. They're so nice. Like for a while, I was on 2 needles every week for my Crohn's, and I had to bring this fridge with me that plugged into the lighter adapter. And that was insane. So we'd have to like advance with every single venue and be like, as soon as we get there, there needs to be a secret safe place that I can plug in my fridge and no one will touch it.
Right.
'Cause if like the medication got unplugged, like it would be messed up, and then like
Yeah.
I'd have to fly back to Canada. Like that's not gonna work.
No. So it's all about having a good team and being able to have folks who support you. How does that help you in those moments where you do feel so alone? Because that's a part of the journey of a chronic illness, is that the loneliness and isolation is a part of it. But how does having a team around you sort of help you like work through that?
My band are my best friends. I'm really open with them. They've seen me like throw up. They've seen me cry. We laugh, we cry, we throw up, whatever.
For real.
In life, there will always be people that get it more than other people.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely had friends where like you can explain it to them, but they don't get it as
Yeah.
much. And being with the band, being on tour, you're with each other 24 hours a day. So they're like, really seeing actually like the impact of the chronic illness on your life. They're really seeing like everything that happens to you, and that like closeness makes them understand it more. Even with like some of my friends from high school who were there when I got diagnosed, like I'll still text them. I'll be like, bro, you get it. You get it.
No doubt.
Appreciate you finding your people and making sure your bandmates and everyone around you is supportive. That's fantastic. But I'm curious, with such a visible career being on stage and you're very open about managing Crohn's on socials, have you ever gotten any negativity or pushback in what you're sharing? And if so, how did you kind of work through that?
One time I posted something about the difference between like Crohn's and colitis and like IBS. Because, you know, some people are like, oh, I have IBS. I get you. And I'm like, that's not the same.
Word.
Like, someone was like, wow, you're being really dramatic. And I was like, what the hell? But honestly, I'm just like, delete. Like, luckily, I haven't had a lot of negative feedback or anything. I think the most like negativity just comes sometimes from people in the music industry not understanding the severity of it. They're like, oh, why don't you could just push through and then do it later? Or what do you mean you can't tour for like 3 months at a time because you need your medications? Like, but I'm not mad at anyone for that. I'm not totally getting it. Maybe they'll have someone in their life later and they'll get it later.
I hear that entirely. Just when you encounter that sort of, I mean, not even in a judgmental sense, but just in the most literal sense, ignorance from people, how do you sort of guard yourself against taking it personally? Because it can be very easy, especially when it's, you know, people are talking about it as if it's like industry standards, or people are doing the whole equivocating thing with like, the thing I'm going through has to be the exact same as what you're going through. How do you make sure that you're not taking these things, whether it's social media comments or comments from industry types, how are you not taking it personally? What do you do to make sure that it doesn't stick too long?
I think when people are like comparing to you, they're also just feeling probably lonely about whatever they're going through. So they're just trying to find someone to relate. So I usually try to like relate back, but I'm like, no, I know it's not the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes I say mean things in my head, but that's probably not the best way to handle things. Just keep it in here.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, however you got to process whatever works for you, you do you.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to say some crazy stuff in there.
Yeah, just keep it in the box. Keep it in the box.
So you've been managing this for 10 plus years. Have there been any silver linings that have come from your experiences?
I think definitely making connections with other people with Crohn's has been really cool, and like that's its own community, which is really interesting, and people with chronic illnesses in general. That's a good question. Silver linings. I just think what I would be like without Crohn's, like I've had it for so much of my life now. I like the way I am, so I guess thanks Crohn's, whatever. Like it definitely gives you like more compassion for suffering.
It's a real thing. And to your point, I think that is something that is really powerful and necessary, because I would argue that there's such a fight for, you know, the importance of compassion in this time, where people kind of feel like it doesn't pay, or it's not as important to be compassionate as previous times. And I just think that we who go through these things have a deeper understanding of suffering than your average person. So with that in mind, Hannah, what would you say over the last 11 years or so you're most proud of that's related to like how you dealt with this, or just within your life? You think back and you're like, man, I'm actually really proud of myself because of this thing.
There have been a lot of milestones musically that I have cried about because I just like never thought I would be able to do them.
Come on.
One of them just happened and I was like, I can't believe this happened, and now I can't remember what it was. But yeah, I'm just like proud that I'm doing it. And I think like 16-year-old Hannah would like freak out if she knew that I was doing like any of these things, because she was literally like, my boyfriend's gonna break up with me and I'm not gonna have any friends and I'm not gonna be an artist, I'm gonna be a loser or something. Like, so silly. And even actually the other day I was at an outdoor show and we just did a documentary about touring with Crohn's for CBC, and someone at the show stopped me and was like, oh, my friend sent me your documentary. Like, I also have Crohn's. And that's been really cool. That's happened to me a couple times. So
Sweet.
it's really nice, like meeting fans and people on tour that also have chronic illnesses. And they're like, I listened to your album and I really related to it. And yeah, that just like means a lot to me.
Mm-hmm. It almost makes you want to take a time machine back to that 16-year-old who's worried about losing her boyfriend and be like, hey, kid, it's going to be okay.
Yeah. And also lose the boyfriend.
Yeah, right. Get rid of him anyway. He's holding you back.
Yeah.
But Hannah, thinking about your 16-year-old self, if you could share some advice or words of wisdom with her, what would you share?
I think I would just tell her to keep doing exactly what she's doing. Keep making art and like being insane and emotional. It's going to be okay. You don't need to worry so much.
Right.
It's still going to be hard, but like you're going to have new tools in your toolbox to deal with a variety of situations in life.
So as you consider the new horizons, like what are things you're looking forward to? Like what are projects you have in mind or collaborations, anything of that nature that you say, you know what, I'm looking forward to, I'm hoping to accomplish in the near future?
Honestly, right now, I'm like looking forward to walking my dog.
Come
And
on.
like, I hope that every day is awesome, even when it's like kind of bad. And we're gonna make a new album. I try not to have like any crazy expectations for anything. Just want to like take things as they come.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Living day to day.
Yeah.
I respect it.
I appreciate that, especially because sometimes we think, okay, I will have more confidence or I will feel more valued or validated once I hit whatever the milestone is.
So real.
But like the true joy comes in showing up and doing what you want to do every day. And you're doing exactly that with your music.
Yeah, I know that maybe tomorrow I'll wake up and I'll feel like really, really sick. But I think getting really sick a couple years ago, it was so bad. And I definitely didn't know how to deal with it then. And now I feel like hopefully, if anything really horrific happened again, I would know more that I might be able to get out of it.
Yeah, now it's a fascinating thing to think about the sort of strategies we accumulate over the years, you know, and just thinking about what you went through in the past and how it prepares you for the future. Do you feel any sort of nervousness as you go day to day and you're just like, I hope this doesn't happen again? Or are you just someone who's kind of viewing it as it is what it is? Like, this is just a part of my story.
I mean, I think definitely I'm still nervous. I mean, I don't know if you guys relate, but when you go through flares, I feel like your body still holds that anxiety. Like, even I'll go for a walk and I'll be like, oh, is my stomach going to hurt on the walk?
Come on, yes.
And then I'm like, well, you're fine. You're fine.
Oh.
I definitely still have some like brain soothing to do.
Yeah.
Because yeah, like even we go on tour, I make a list of like all the worst possible things that could happen. And like I have to be ready for everything. So I definitely think I'm a little more like over prepared now in a way that most 27-year-olds don't attempt to
think about. And I think in large part, something that isn't articulated enough is that having a chronic illness can be traumatizing. You know what I mean? Like what we've gone through. So something that, you know, for a able-bodied person, they may not think twice about having a stomach ache. I guess now with this like parasite on the lettuce, people think about stomach aches all the time. They're terrified of that. But in normal times, people are like, oh, I had a, you know, must have had something that was bad. Like that's why I have a stomach ache or whatever the case is. But I think we have to, because of that, extend so much grace to ourselves because we have gone through traumatizing things, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I know. And it definitely has made me like kind of a hypochondriac. Like today I was like, am I getting pink eye? And then I was like, girl, no, you're not getting pink eye. You're just insane. My dermatologist is at the hospital where I had resection surgery a couple years ago. And I had to ask my partner to bring me. Like usually I can bring myself to doctor's appointments, but
yes,
I was like, you have to come with me because I don't like going in there. And like,
it's real.
Maybe I'm randomly going to cry after.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, but you know, it was fine, but I'm glad that they came with me.
Nah, nah. What you're saying is real. I remember even going to my kids' regular checkup and smelling like the hand sanitizer that the doctors use reminded me of being in the hospital. And I was like, oh, keep it together, Chris. But just like smelling the hand sanitizer, I was like,
I
no,
know.
like I know what this means.
I know. And I hate smelling like hospital. Like, I don't even, what is it? Like, you come home and you're like, oh my God, I smell like the hospital. And I have to
Yes,
take like a shower.
yes.
I
Put
hate
these
it.
clothes in the wash immediately. Get them away from me. I want no evidence of it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny that you bring that up because after one time I was in the hospital, I had that smell and it was just like so repulsive. And I
Yes,
even took like 2 showers and I still felt like I could smell it. And
no
I
Yeah.
was
doubt.
just like losing it because of it.
Yes, this is real. It's real.
I know. I'll be like, if I'm gonna be in the hospital for like more than one day, I'll like ask to bring stuffed animals, but I'm like, you can't bring the ones that I love because they're just gonna like smell like the hospital
That's it.
forever.
That's
Like,
it.
you don't want to like have that association with your favorite things.
Nah, not at
The
all.
hospital, like that shit sucks.
Yes, no question.
You bringing that up though, what are some of the other things in your toolbox or that you bring to help you through hospital stays or just when you're really not feeling well?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta have that heating pad on me at all times. I bring that with me everywhere. Love the heating pad. Drugs, like prescription drugs.
That's
Let's
right. That's right.
clarify that.
Yeah,
Yes,
it was
prescription.
implied, but just in case.
Yes, prescription drugs. Sometimes I feel like a pharmacy. My friend will be like, "I have this thing," and I'll be like, "I have something for that." Like,
That's right.
or like, you should ask your doctor for this. But yeah, prescription drugs. There's so many like random things that are wrong with me. So I have my knee brace because sometimes my knee acts up. Why? I don't know. Benadryl. Like on the last tour we were on, we were in Florida and it was so hot that my whole body like broke out in the hives. I was like, are there a lot of mosquitoes around here? Like, are you guys like really itchy? And everyone was like, no. And then I looked down, I was like, oh. But it's fine. I got the Benadryl on me. I prepared for that.
That's it.
But yeah, stuffed animals, some people are like, that's childish, but you gotta have things that are comforting. And even music. If I'm in the hospital and I feel like it's over for me, sometimes just hearing like a really good song, I'll be like, okay, no, I have to keep trying because that song is so good and I need to hear it, not in this room.
That's really real. Are there any artists who can help inspire you during a bad flare or keep you kind of like? So I'll give an example. Like I've listened to Tupac's Ambitions as a Writer or two of
Nice.
America's Most Wanted. Whenever I get out of the hospital, I was like, I feel like that same sort of energy, like getting discharged from the hospital. So is there anyone who resonates with you in those moments?
My favorite song is This Must Be the Place by the Talking Heads.
All
And
right.
actually, like every time I've been like, okay, I have to go to the hospital, but I don't want to go, I put that on and then I'm like, okay, I can go. I can do it. Like,
Yes.
this song just makes me feel so good.
Yes.
We're going to do it. It's going to be fine.
Love that.
Music can just completely flip your mood in an instant. And I so appreciate finding those songs and artists that can help you get through those tougher times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
And I also appreciate you bringing up the stuffed animals because a tactic to help with anxiety is find something nostalgic for you, whether it's TV show, personal belongings or something, and it can help ground you in the moment.
Yeah, for sure. I even feel like getting older, I'm going back more to like inner child and like the stuff that I liked when I was 13 or 12.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, yeah, like when you're a kid, you're not like burdened by the weight of the world.
Right.
So, doing stuff that you liked or enjoyed when you were a kid definitely probably brings you back to before you felt all that like stress and
No question.
anxiety.
It's often why we tell young people, don't rush your life, like just enjoy
Yeah.
childhood. Don't rush to be an adult. There's a lot of bills waiting for you.
Yeah, literally. I was having a bad day the other day and I was like, wait, we should play Club Penguin right now. Should we hop on Club Penguin? And then I had like an awesome afternoon. It was
There it
epic.
is. There it is. That's what we got to do to get through this thing. Most
That's
definitely.
awesome.
Absolutely.
And I'm curious, what does invisible strength mean to you, especially as there were more than one time where you're like, I'm not going to be able to be an artist. I'm not going to be able to sing. So I'm curious how you think about invisible strength and how you got through some of those tougher times.
Man, that is also a really good question.
Mm.
Invisible strength. Oh, I wonder if that's what your brain is subconsciously learned and it's like trying to send signals to you that you can do it. But that's such a good question. Also, when I think of invisible strength, it's all of the people with chronic illnesses. You're at the function and you had to do so much to be there and like nobody know. You guys know that meme where there's like one person in a corner and then a bunch of people at the party, like nobody at this party knows I'm so and so. It's like nobody at the party knows that I had to like spend 6 hours napping like before I
Real.
came to this. I don't know if that's like necessarily a positive invisible strength thing, but I was even talking to my friend Colin the other day and he was talking about like partying and how like his friend has a chronic illness and he appreciates so much all the struggles that his friend goes through and like, still sometimes like shows up to things. He's like,
Mhm.
that person is like so strong and blah, blah, blah. Not saying like showing up to things makes you strong because I don't show up to many things,
Real.
but just like everything that's going on behind the scenes, people don't know. So anything that you take as a win is like, that's like your invisible strength.
Yeah. We make it look so smooth on the surface, but we're fighting like hell underneath the water, kind of like a majestic swan or something like that, you know?
Yes, that's so good.
But I do think it's a positive thing because it only takes ourselves to know what we have gone through. And I think there's a sense of confidence in that. I have poured into myself so much so that I can go out and do whatever it is that I'm looking to do.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think even like sometimes I'll just go on a walk around the block and I'll be like, I feel so epic that I did that. Like
Yes.
not like caring about other people and being happy with what you are able to do. That's the win for me.
And I appreciate the small wins, like going for a walk, because there have been times where we're in the hospital and we physically can't go for a walk.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
being able to take your dog out in those small moments, that's a big thing in creating happiness.
No
Yeah, like
question.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, like me and her, we went on a walk for an hour the other day. I definitely couldn't have done this a couple years ago. So this is like so special. Me and my buddy, we're on a walk.
Yeah. Yes.
So staying in the moment, and I'm curious if there's other mindset shifts that you've made to really help you through your experience.
I know. I feel like definitely there is. I'm interested to know your answer to that, actually.
Yeah. So for me personally, I had a lot of anxiety around my health. And then we laugh about it, but then I had anxiety about my anxiety because I was worried it was affecting my health.
Yeah,
So real.
that's so real.
So learning to really stay in the moment and appreciate the small daily things, going for walks, hanging out with my kids, whatever it is. I think that has been a big shift for me. And the other huge lesson that I've learned is just self-compassion and knowing my self-worth outside of my to-do list and what my accomplishments are. Just
Yes.
being that I am enough as a person, as a
Right.
wife, as a mother, as a friend, all of those things, regardless of what I'm able to do, whether through work or other projects.
Yes, that is so real. Yeah, okay. I totally agree with that because I think like, you know, a lot of the time talking about me with the band and everything, it's like she's sick and she can still do all these things, but it is true. Sometimes I can't still do all those things. Like
Right.
sometimes I can't do anything.
Yeah.
And definitely telling yourself that it's okay if you can't do anything. You're still awesome. And like if I can't write a song or tour for a whole 2 years, like I'm not any less of a musician. I don't have to hold myself up to the standards of other people. It only matters what I think about my journey because everybody's journey is like so different.
Right. Right. And I think when you do what both of you have described, that's how you're able to access peace in your life. And I think peace doesn't necessarily mean like an absence of chaos, but it's sort of like the thing that steadies you through the chaos, because chronic illnesses are so unpredictable. Life is unpredictable. And so being able to practice the sort of inner stability that allows you to practice peace in the midst of everything else going on is a real important life skill.
Yeah, I think for sure. I definitely one I'm still working on. Like you said, I get crazy health anxiety. Like I go out and I spend time around people and then I'm like, oh my God, am I gonna get sick tomorrow? I have to like go to my therapist and she's like, you have to not let yourself think about it for 42 hours. And then if you're sick after 42 hours, you're sick like that. Yeah, that's so true. But yeah, that's a rough one. And then I'm like, why does my stomach hurt? I'm anxious.
Right.
So, Hannah, what's next for you, or what are you working on now that we can look forward to?
Working on another album. Don't know when that will come out, but working on it. And I just put out a compilation of comics about having Crohn's, which was something I've been trying to do since I was a teenager. And every year I was like, oh, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. But this year I was hit with like a deadline. So I did it. So I'm going to keep making more comics about Crohn's and putting those out in like little zine editions. If anyone wants one of those, hit my line and I'll mail it to you.
Love it. That's awesome.
That's amazing. So where can people follow you on socials?
Yeah, you can follow me just at Fan Club Wallet. It's everywhere. If you're looking for my art, it's going to be in the bio of all the Fan Club Wallet pages.
Sounds good. We'll be sure to check that out. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Hannah, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you sharing your story so openly and helping us, our community, and all the young 16-year-olds trying to navigate something like this.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I don't think I've ever really talked to other people like on a podcast about chronic illness, so this has been really nice.
And that's what we try to do, give people this space to create like beautiful conversations and help to inspire others to keep it going.
Totally.
Yeah, and you had mentioned earlier one of the silver linings is being able to connect with others going through these conditions. We've met incredible people like yourself, all because we have these shared conditions and shared experiences, well, very differently, but it's a deeper level of connection. So it's been really awesome getting to know you.
Yeah, thank you. You guys too.
Indeed.
And Chris, thank you for being here as always.
Such a chill and wonderful conversation. Glad I could be a part of it.
So to our community, make sure you check out invigorateyourjourney.com. We have resources and support to help you going through your chronic illness journeys. Until next time, take care. Peace.
Peace.